Welcome back to this second episode of this two-part series on how to detach from control and become an emotional leader. Are you trying to manage your children's emotions? Guess what? They're not yours to manage. In this second part of the episode, I leave you with some practical tips and tools on how to work through a process of realizing what is yours to own and what is somebody else's to own when it comes to emotions, emotional boundaries, and how to feel emotions in our bodies. I can't wait to dive in. Let's go. Up with the intention of being a present and patient mom, only to find yourself feeling overwhelmed and depleted amidst the chaos of daily life? Hi, I'm Lesley, a mom of littles and the host of the Grounded Mama podcast. Here we will find balance by integrating practices that reduce overstimulation and stress in order to enhance your whole family's well-being. Ready to slow down and be the intentional mother you desire to be? Okay, mama, it's time to feel grounded. Take a deep breath and let's dive in. Okay, we are back. I felt like this needed to be a two-part series because emotions are big. Emotions should be honored. And again, I just didn't want to cut this short with everything here to unpack. And we were talking about what an emotion is, what a feeling makes an experience from an emotion, how those emotions can be stored as stress responses in our body if they are not fully processed. Just a little bit of a recap. So if you haven't listened to the first part of this episode, I highly encourage you to go back and listen to part 1. And we are going to talk about the actual tactical steps in this next episode. So on how to become an emotional leader and how to detach from trying to manage other people's emotions. It's a tricky one, right? So emotions are sensations and experiences. They are the ones that are fully processed are filed in a part of our brain that our whole authentic self has access to, right? So if you are not able to process an emotion or a sensation or an experience fully, reminder, it takes about 90 seconds to process an emotion, then they don't go into basically like this filing cabinet in your brain of a stored experience, a stored emotion, and having access to that. Because emotions that never fully move through the body, they don't have access in that filing cabinet in our brains. They're not stored in our brains. They're stored in our body, and they continue to feel intense. They continue to, again, create that dis-ease in our bodies. So that's why it is so important for us to actually fully experience and process an emotion, even if we don't want to, even if it's uncomfortable or you're triggered by something, or you're, again, trying to suppress yourself from crying or anger or whatever it might be. It is so, so important that we fully process these experiences and these emotions that come with these experiences. So step 1, in order to feel our emotions in a healthy way, we must integrate with our bodies. Again, paying attention to what is arising in a circumstance, what is happening in your body. Is it a feeling of tingling sensation, or is it a feel of heat in your chest because you're angry at something, or just like an up level of sensation coming like a tidal wave in your body? Like, pay attention to that, because again, you can't change what you don't notice. Awareness is the first step. Name it to tame it. Okay. This is so important. I tell my toddler, I work through my toddler with this all the time. Like, I see you're feeling really frustrated that your toy, is broken, or he has lots of trucks and trailers. And so sometimes if the hitch doesn't go on just right, he gets really frustrated. And I express that to him. I reflect that back to him. I see you're frustrated, or you're angry, or, and you can do that with yourself. Name it to tame it. Not only does it's better out than in, but it also helps integrate the left and the right hemispheres in our brain to calm that limbic system in our brain. So you're integrating both the left and the right side. You're able to kind of come down off of that prefrontal cortex lid flipping per se. Getting a little scientific here, but that is something that is really important. You got to name it to tame it. Like even sharing with your spouse, I am really frustrated with how this happened, or I am really happy that you did the laundry for me without me asking. That means the world, right? So you expressing it, and again, taming it is more in a sense of anger or frustration or disappointment or grief, but it can be, with more of those positive emotions as well. Third is to set emotional boundaries. Notice when you go into management mode. This is important, especially for the others that you cohabitate with in your household, your kids, your husband. Pay attention to when you are trying to manage somebody else's emotions or when you can't let them feel a certain way, right? So say if, again, your toddler is having that mental, or not that mental, the breakdown, the meltdown, on the floor, screaming, kicking, flailing, and everything in your body, again, there's a sensation in your body that is coming up like, oh my gosh, I have to control this. I'm going to, tell them to stop, or trying to hold them down, or whatever the experience or circumstance is. When you find yourself not being able to let somebody feel their emotions in a certain way that's uncomfortable for you, I would encourage you to lean into what is happening in your body, creating that awareness, and then, name your sensation, name it to tame it. Oh, I'm feeling this sensation in my body coming up. It's starting in my arm and it's moving up my body, or whatever it is. Focus on you, not the other person, because let me tell you, it is not our job to manage our children's emotions. It is not our job to manage our husband's emotions. It is not our job to manage anybody's emotions, as a matter of fact, except our own. I could drop the mic right there and walk away. Boom. It is not your job. It is their job to fully process an emotional experience. Okay? They have to process that. They cannot store that stress response. I mean, they can, but it's not your job to stop it and to control it and to manage their emotions. Okay? So next time your kid has that tantrum in the store, have you heard of Mel Robbins' book that just came out, Let Them? Let them have the tantrum. Let them get it out of their system. Because guess what? If you don't, they're going to act out in a different way. Again, sweeping that under the rug, keeping it stored up, keeping it pent up in their body, and then it's going to implode one day. You don't know when. It's kind of like a volcano. Like you don't know when it's going to go off, but it is, because it's been building and building and building, and it's being stored in their body versus going into that mental filing cabinet in their brain. Okay? Another great way is to ask yourself, what is yours to own and what is theirs? Okay? Like we could do this again with our husband, with our kids. Like, is that mine to own? Is that mine to manage? Is that my experience, my circumstance, my emotion? Is that mine? Or is it theirs? Because if it's theirs, you know the answer. It's not yours to manage. It's not yours. It's not our job to manage our kids' emotions, including it's not our job to make our kids happy, okay? I know that's a lot of pleasing or enabling. There's a lot of parenting styles or things that go into, I just want to make my kid happy. It's not your job to make them happy. Happiness is an emotion, and that is theirs to own and theirs to manage. Okay. How does everybody feel after all of that? That was kind of a lot. I felt like maybe there was some tension rising, some ego coming in saying, what is she talking about? That is my job. That is my child. You're absolutely right. It is your child, and you're their parent, and you are the adult and they are the child. But to let that out, to better out than in. It goes for adults. It goes for kids. Okay. The 24-hour rule. So this comes to when it is about setting and managing emotional boundaries. If you set something for yourself maybe for your kids or your husband, or if you feel yourself getting very tense or tight or uptight and you are able to maybe just take a walk around the block, remove yourself from the situation, leave the kids with your husband, say, hey, I need a minute. And you set that boundary for yourself so you're not going to implode and explode on and do something like from a reactive response versus something that is more of a calm or regulated response versus a reaction. Okay, you come back and then you're able to handle that circumstance or that situation the way that you would like to. Again, don't just leave your kids if you don't have anybody to watch them. That's not, but take that 24-hour rule and apply it to these boundaries, these emotional boundaries in your life. And if you say something that is not okay with you, give it 24 hours. Don't go back and have buyer's remorse for that boundary in an hour. Like, oh, I feel really bad because I don't want to hurt their feelings. Take 24 hours after you set a boundary or you have a boundary in place. And if you actually feel like it was something you said maybe out of anger or hurt or sadness or or even like people pleasing, if you feel like you set that boundary in a certain way that's not actually in true alignment with you, after 24 hours, go ahead and take it back. Say, I misspoke. I was feeling a lot of emotions. I was feeling big feelings. And I actually want to redact that boundary. I don't want to set XYZ, So give yourself that 24 hours because sometimes right after you set a boundary, if your husband says something to you that really just hurts you in a way that you don't understand, maybe, you were talked to like that as a kid or, it could come from so many things. It's not the actual circumstance, right? It's something that is wired in us in the past. Actually, I think I talked about that more on the workshop. So you don't know that. But yes, it's not about the actual circumstance. It is about something that has happened in our past that we have stored that experience in our bodies and we have made the current experience or circumstance tied to that, right? Survival. That's these feelings, sensations coming up in our body. It actually has nothing to do with the current circumstance. And again, the last thing here is to have emotional courage. As we close here, I have so enjoyed this I Am Identity Series podcast. Having emotions, big emotions, gritty emotions, it takes courage. It really, truly does. And I invite you to have emotional courage and be able to step in circumstances where you're able to set those emotional boundaries for yourself, or you're able to speak up for yourself, maybe in ways that you never have before, or to set parameters around staying totally regulated while your kid has a temper tantrum in the grocery store because they didn't get the candy bar they wanted. And you can just sit there and let them have their tantrum without trying to control it or spend energy trying to manage it, because that takes energy. It sucks the life out of you trying to control these things when you really don't have control at all. Control is such an illusion. And okay, so again, I just feel like you have the tools, you have the capacity. Maybe you need the tools. Maybe you need a little bit more structure or a different perspective, enlightenment of a different way to do things, right? You've been listening to that intuition that deep down, I want to do this differently. I don't want to yell at my kids anymore. I don't want to feel so much rage when this happens all the time. When my kid makes an accident, spills something on the floor and I get so angry about it. I don't know what your circumstance is, but I'm here to hold space for that. I'm here to hold space for you. I'm here to help you navigate and find your way back to your nervous system and to have a better understanding of what makes you you. And again, I'm going to invite you to check out the link in the show notes. Doors close on Sunday, the 27th. I am offering a 5-week, 4-module program over the 4 pillars that I have discussed high level on the last several weeks of the podcast. We go in deep. We go slow and we go deep into this work, into this program. And I would love to be on this journey with you, this journey of motherhood. I'd love to witness and see you grow and flourish into the mother that you're destined to be. You know, just like a flower, and I shared this on the workshop, so I'm trying not to repeat myself too much and get lost in what I'm talking, you know, what space I'm talking about this on to be repetitive. But like a flower, you cannot force a flower to bloom. You are going to go at the space and the speed that you feel safe enough to do and to go. Okay. And I'm here again to hold that space for you. I'm here to help open your eyes up to different ways and different opportunities to navigate through this motherhood journey of yours. Again, it's 5 weeks, 4 modules. We have access to Voxer. And if you register by tonight at 11:59 Mountain Standard Time, you gain access to a one-on-one coaching call with me before we get started. And again, or the week we get started, next week. We get started on Wednesday, April 30th. And I would love to have you be a part of this cohort. It's going to be an amazing experience, an amazing journey. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here. I'm along for the ride. So I hope this series was so helpful for you and beneficial to you. And again, I just hope and pray that, again, I know God will lead the way for you and you are right where you need to be, mama. And I hope you decide to join us in this 2025 spring cohort of the Rebalanced Mama Method. Okay, take care. Hey, mama, I hope you enjoyed that episode. I just wanted to hop on here and share an event that is going to be happening on Wednesday, April 30th from 6:30 to 8:30 at Barber Park. If you are local to the Treasure Valley here in Boise, Idaho, I would highly encourage you to join us. Lyft is putting on an event called Shine Bright, You Were Made for More. And sometimes our world can feel dark and empty, leaving us with so many questions, discouragement, and feeling alone. We can't seem to get a grip on our circumstances or see a way out that feels genuine to who we are. So join us for an evening full of light, laughter, and community with other wonderful women. Bring your daughter, bring your sister, bring your friend. If you feel like you don't want to come to this event alone, there will be light snacks and beverages. And we're going to have some women come up and share stories of times when their light really shone. I am not a host, but I am attending, and I actually have a table of tickets that I'm doing a giveaway for. So if you are interested in coming to this event and again, might feel that intimidation, but want to be at a table of wonderful women that are also entering the giveaway, please feel free to join. All you have to do is go join my heartbeat group, the Rebalanced Mama. The link is in the show notes. RSVP to the event and say I'm in, and you will be entered to win one of the tickets for this event. So please join us. And if you want to sign up, I will also leave a link in the show notes as well if you just want to buy a ticket on your own as well. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much. Have a great week. Hey mama, thank you for joining me today. If this episode resonated with you, would you take a few seconds and share it with a fellow mom friend who is also navigating this journey of motherhood? Also, if you could spare a moment of your precious time and leave a 5-star review for the show, it lights me up to know that this podcast is helping you mother with ease. Time to go rest and ground down in all that we covered here today. I'll meet you back here next week for another episode with love and gratitude.